in World Youth Day in Toronto. We actually were over by a road where we saw a helicopter land, and we're like, "Oh, what's going on over there?" Because we were not even
Oh
close
wow.
to we weren't even close to the main stage, but we like ran over to this road, and we were right on the fence, as he went by in the Pope Mobile.
Was it a
Uh,
moderate stone's throw, or like you with all your might? Like I know I can make it 90 yards.
we were just no, it was just if you were like fenced off from a road with some comfortable room, to it, that's where he went by. Um, and then I never have downhill skied. I've done cross country skiing, but I've never had a pair of downhill skis strapped to my feet. I mean, going downhill. You go down hills when you're cross country skiing, but and then yeah, man, what a failure I am. I've never had poison ivy. I never contracted it. Our good friend John Campbell is very good about pointing it out on the path when we're going by it up there. And I've always just had long pants and good footwear and stuff, so I haven't contracted. I don't know if I'm allergic or not to it. I know some people aren't.
This is also the point in the stream apparently where Facebook disconnected us.
It's just dead. It's just broken.
Yeah, I'm trying to reconnect. I'll get it. This is being recorded, so I'll get that up. So give me just a sec. Yeah, interesting. Let
I don't know
me.
which of those I was going to see. That's the thing about this challenging about the game is you come up with some things that you think people don't know, and then there are going to be facts in the affirmative. Like these are things about me, and then you're going to lie about one of them.
Yeah,
And if you forget to do that when you write them down,
that's the best part of it. Not writing it down and then cheating.
well, I
Okay,
wrote it down.
so let me see if I don't get it back there, we'll just finish offline and it'll be recorded and put up later. Um, yeah. Let me change this real quick. Sorry, give me a second. Uh, talk amongst yourselves.
I see some moving around happening on. Oh no, it's the live video is being interrupted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was in Toronto when World Youth Day was there in like 2002 ish, and that was pretty cool. I was in high school, um, and I didn't have like a super deep commitment to my faith at the time, um, but I was just like yeah, I'll go do that thing kind of guy, So like, um, I did a lot of things, like I served in church and I would like lead worship at the youth mass and stuff, but just because I was involved in everything. And then I was like, oh, sweet, a trip to, somewhere else to go see the Pope. Yeah, let's do it. And it was it was pretty awesome. It turned out to be a really, really cool trip. Um, they had this they had a so we did the pilgrimage. I think all of them probably have a pilgrimage, right? Where you like start somewhere and then you walk basically to where the main stage area is. So we walked 12 miles out to where it was at the airport, like held out at we're out on the runway or something of, the airport. And I don't know if you weren't allowed or if we just didn't do it. There were some people that had small tents, but I don't know if you were supposed to have a tent. But we did sleep out there. Like we walked out, um, they did the opening thing, the evening before worship music and things like that. And then we like slept out there and we had our sleeping bags and we like had them like a big sheet. We each had like a big sheet of plastic that we like put over our sleeping bags. And we, when we woke up in the morning, it was like we woke up early and it was just starting to sprinkle a little bit. And I pulled out like a little, travel umbrella and popped it up and just kind of like put it over where my head and shoulders were sticking out and like held it over me. And like a few minutes later, it was an all out downpour, just like giving it, just, and it was hilarious. Like, I think I actually did sleep for, a little while longer, just kind of in the peaceful, like, you know, drowning sound of the downpouring rain. But people were like yelling and running everywhere because we were just getting drenched, except for, those of us that had like covered our stuff in plastic. But we weren't like intense. It was so weird.
So we are back now, and you just caught the end of John's story for World Youth Day. You'll have to maybe go back and watch. Maybe we can, Emily, maybe we can cut out this one section, this 5 minutes, where I think Restream blew up. That's the service that takes our stream and sends it out to Facebook and YouTube and everywhere else. I can't connect to it, so I just connected right back to Facebook. So sorry about that. That's just kind of what happens. But we'll go ahead. Let's see. What's our time here? I can do mine real quick because they are very short, and hopefully the internet doesn't go down, and then we'll get back to Brent and we'll hear some truths and some lies. So let me pull up my notes here. So 3 things. I've stolen from a store with my magic skills. I've been paid for my magic skills, or I've been hypnotized by magic skills. So there's a little bit of a trend there. Magic skills.
It's great. Theme.
Exactly. You go first, Brent.
Yeah, go.
I give you credit for having a theme because that probably would have helped me come up with mine as well. I think I'm just going to jump straight to my guess, saying you've never stolen with your magic skills. I can see you goofing off and getting paid for it, and I can see that you might have allowed yourself to try to be hypnotized. So I'm going to say you haven't stolen.
Yeah, that's very kind of you. Number 1. All right, what do you got, John?
Boy. I'm going to say the hypnosis is the lie because it requires agreement with the power of suggestion.
Uh-huh.
And it's hard if you're a skeptic at all. I think you've got to have people who are like really like willing to go for it. The other ones I could see. I don't know if I've stolen, but I think all of us when we're young, there's at some point where you're like, I wonder if even if you're just curious, I wonder if I could get away with this. So.
Yeah, sure.
But did he blame his magic skills?
That's a good point. All right. So
it's kind of a dead giveaway though if you hold up a candy bar and you're just like, oh.
What was the third one that you didn't get? So you guessed, John, that I
did not get hypnotized.
Did not get hypnotized. Brent, that I did not steal. And my third one was that I've been paid. So I've never been paid for magic skills. In college, 2 of my buddies, we actually purchased like magic DVDs and like learned how to do sleight of hand and stuff. And we would like go to parties and we'd just be like, yeah, think of a card. And we do like casual magic, which is like so much fun. It finished with levitating. It was a blast. And then I have stolen. This is funny. It's kind of meta. I've stolen Magic the Gathering cards with sleight of hand. As like a, I don't know, elementary kid, walked in there and was like, oh, this is really interesting. Let me just reach up there and it slips down my shirt or whatever. So I don't promote stealing, but as a child, I did that once. I didn't get caught either, but that was enough. Like, just understanding what I did was wrong, that I never did it again. But that came out of magic practice. And then hypnotized. I'll say that I was hypnotized. I was like half hypnotized because I like woke up pretending to be a chicken. So it didn't really work, because I was totally skeptical and whatever. But I remember sitting there and then kind of relaxing, and then I was on the ground and I was like, and it had only been like 10 seconds. Like I'd gotten down on the ground and started clucking like a chicken or something. But I was like, and then I slowed down and stopped. And they're like, okay, great. Thank you so much. You can sit down. Because I think, like John, you're saying, they can kind of recognize the people that aren't as susceptible, and they just kick me out of the show. Which
they're not going to take you to the next level.
Right. And I was looking at my old yearbooks from like 2002 and 2001. Like there was always a hypnotist at my school. Like that was one of the entertainment assemblies that they would do, is bring a hypnotist, which is weird. I mean,
Yes.
it was also the Red Devils. So there you go. But all right. Now for the finale, Brent. I know you had some time to prep for this. I'm ready. I'm ready to hear.
I actually wrote down.
I'm ready to hear it.
Okay. When I was 19 and backpacking through Europe after a study abroad thing, I got a surprise call from a friend saying, tomorrow, if you and your friends want to meet with the Pope, meet us at this door in the Vatican. Number 2, I met my wife at a bar while I was on a date with another woman.
Oh.
Number 3, I once was quoted in a newspaper saying, Catholics believe that Seventh-day Adventists are members of a cult.
That 100% sounds correct. I mean, to be misquoted seems like a part of your job. Like that's just going to happen. You go, Brent, or you go, John.
I think I'm going to go with the meeting his wife at a bar one. It sounds like a good story, but the other ones that seem fantastic. I know I'm pretty sure you've been in an audience with the Pope, or I feel like I've seen a picture of you. I could just be making that up. But it seems plausible that you would have wound up in a situation like that. And then being misquoted, I agree with. So I'm going to go with the second one, meeting your wife at a bar while you're on another date.
Yeah, let's see.
You're nodding, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not super strong on that one because I could also see, like I met my wife when I was dating somebody else. So Monica and I met and I was dating somebody else at the time. So I could see that happening. I could definitely see that happening. What was it specifically? You met your wife at a bar, but she was on a date with somebody else?
No, well, I was on a date with somebody else.
Oh, you were on a date with somebody else. Yeah. I mean, again, I met my wife. I wasn't on a date. So maybe that's the part. Being on a date. The misquote, yeah, that seems like a given. It's also just short and pithy, which sometimes is just an obvious truth. Other times it's a really good way to lie. And the backpacking through Europe, I want to believe that's true. Yeah, you're getting us with the detail. I think that's what's going to happen. You're going to get us with a small detail. Like, maybe this is not your story. This is like a sibling story or a friend's story. But I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to guess.
I'm not going to be triggered.
What's that?
Make your guess.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the first one. If you want to meet the Pope, come to this door. I'm going to say that's the lie.
I wasn't trying to trick anybody with, I was 19 and I was really 21 or anything like that. No, that happened in 1997. While friends and I were in Rome, we got a call from So then Father Morlino saying, "Meet us tomorrow morning at the Bronze Door," and we showed up. 6 of us were, do the math again. 5 of us were allowed to come up and meet Pope John Paul II. It was awesome. We got delayed for a second with the Swiss Guard, and I had a friend who had a foul mouth who was sitting in there swearing up a storm, and I kept saying to myself, "You're gonna get us killed." So no, but we got to go into a quick private audience with Pope St. John Paul II. John, you're right. I posted that online and more than once, especially when he was
Nice.
declared a saint. I said, apparently, it's post a picture of yourself in a saint day. Now, after your 2 truths and a lie,
I totally missed John's analysis there. I was like writing them down, and I must not have paid attention to his analysis on that one.
John Ryan, you said that sorry. The other truth was that I was once quoted as saying that Catholics believe that the Seventh Day Adventists are members of a cult. I wouldn't say that I was entirely misquoted, but I would say that I didn't know that I was ever going to be quoted.
Yeah, or like Twitter, context false. You know, like
But
there's more context to this.
this was a college friend of mine who called me up. He worked for a small newspaper, and he said, "What can you tell me about Seventh Day Adventists?" And it was like that, and like he's like a longtime friend of mine, and I'm like, okay, well, and so I kind of went through. I'm like, well, Mormons, and well, we're friends with them and stuff like that, and Seventh Day Adventists, and don't get me in trouble here, guys. And Jehovah's Witness, and we started talking about some of these groups they believe a lot of what Christians believe, but they also have
But they're
other
not
things.
Christian, yeah.
And so, anyway, he just wrote it in the paper, and I was like, "What the heck are you doing?" So,
That's
so
amazing.
the lie is that I met my wife at a bar
Oh.
while on a date with another man. While I was on a date with another woman. I met my wife at a lecture at Edgewood College. The subject of the lecture was how the how things that affect the family are kind of perpetuated. Things kind of as normal as divorce, things like adoption, other things like that, and how the best home for a child are your own biological child raised by mom and dad. But we know that's not always the case. But how those kind of self perpetuate themselves. It was just a sociologist. He himself was an outsider of that. He himself was a part of a divorced family. So he was not saying right or wrong. He wasn't judging anybody. Anyway, I was sitting next to this woman and who was volunteering there, and we started up a conversation, and now here we are. Right. Yeah. Well, and then the embarrassing part for me, and she likes to tell this story, is the next day we had one of our Therese lectures, which was on the same subject of, kind of like the demographics of how children should be raised, just sociologically. And I said, "Oh, we got interrupted last night. Can we keep this discussion going on?" And then the bishop came over and tapped me on the shoulder, said, "I need you." So I found her online and sent her a message. I'm like, "Would you ever like to have a meeting sometime?" Or something like that. So but she teases me to the day going, "You said a meeting." Like it was like going out for lunch or a dinner or something, but it was you kept saying a meeting. So I like that. So yeah, other than the bishop's moments with the bishop that are not quite daily, but a lot. And then the other would be just in general his evangelization initiative that I know John's involved in with his parish. That it's just trying to get Catholics reinvigorated with not only evangelizing themselves, like getting to know Jesus themselves, but then what's that next step? Once you have something there, how do you spread it? How do you take it to the next step? We're still in those initial stages, but it's all on our website, madisondiocese.org. And you know, how do we first fall in love with God and then take that love and spread it?
That's awesome. And luckily on the stream, nobody heard what I said, so we just heard your great explanation there of that. So, John, what else you got for me?
Today I have nothing else for you.
It is National Hat Day or something, like hashtag holiday.
It is National Hat Day. I'm glad you asked, Ryan. A lot of people are wondering, what is today's national day? It is National Hat Day.
Yeah.
I don't know who comes up with these national days, but now we have them. Social media has spoken and said it is so, and so it is thus. It is Hat Day. Go check out our
2021
backflip channel. See all the hats that everyone's wearing.
I recommend the stocking cap.
It is the
Yeah. Yeah. You're Anna, I think. Do you wear it much? Your kids wear it.
So my kids, so you guys gave me some hats. I didn't. It was like over break that I got them, so I didn't know exactly what to do. So I took them home, and I came
100%.
home one day, and I see these kids sliding down this hill across from our house, and they're wearing these backflip film hats, and it's just like, who are those? Oh wait, those are mine. Those are my kids.
That's awesome.
My 8-year-old takes hers to school every day.
That's awesome. Yeah, my kids stole mine, so I had to get some extra ones, and they keep taking them. They're like their favorite. I don't know that they've ever had just like a giant stocking cap like that before, so they love them. That's great. All right. Thank you, Brent, so much for coming on. I'm glad we could connect and hang out. This was a blast. I think we should probably just do this more regularly anyway. Just hang out. We don't have to always record it. We'll record some of them, but especially during the last 9 months or so, I don't think we've hung out that much. So let's fix that. Let's do that.
It's good practice for me. Thank you guys. I'm used to throwing other people in front of a camera and making them talk for a long time.
That's true.
Scheduling other people, I don't do it as much as maybe I should. So it's like, who can take this interview? You. So it's good for me. We're going to get the bishop on soon.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. We're ready. I think we created a doodle too, so that it's a lot easier to schedule. So you can just look at the doodle. If we haven't sent you that, I'll have Emily send you that, and we can get the bishop scheduled, and we could hear the bishop's 2 truths and a lie.
That'll be good. This will be good. He'll probably go back to his youth, to his brothers or something like that. My brothers made me do this. My brothers made me do that. So you talk about themes. Maybe I'll even tease that with him. So talk to Emily about that.
Yeah, we'll send some stuff. Yep.
Cool.
That'll be great. And let's see. Next week we're out filming, so because we're going to be prepping for that, we didn't want to do another live show, so we'll do a rerun. We'll try out some reruns of our more popular streams, and then after that, we're going to have some other friends of ours. Julia Smith, previous producer here, now works at Blend as an executive producer and producer. We're going to have Ryan Dabrowski after that, who we went to school with and was actually recommended by Michael Graff. So that connection was really fun. I didn't know Michael I know professionally, Ryan I know from school, and Michael knows Ryan, which is really, really fun. And then after that, apparently it's just like the season of Ryans. We're going to have Ryan Orr, and he works at D Films. Is he the one who took your position, John, or has he always worked there? I actually don't know his bio.
Yeah, he's the lead editor at D Films. He's been there for a long time. I apprenticed under him.
Oh, okay.
As an intern learned a lot of things from him.
Awesome. So that's what we got coming up. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and as always, putting up with all the technical issues that come up because, hey, it's the internet. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Brent, for joining us. That's all we've got for today. Bye.
Thanks, guys.